Hey everyone, before I start this video, I want to take this time to show that if you are looking for Twitch Prime, it has been rebranded to Prime Gaming now. So it's still the same service, they just changed it to be just Prime Gaming now. And you'll notice by the thumbnail that that name changed. So now let's get into the 5 new games for September. First up is Pumped BMX Pro, which came out in 2019 and got a Metacritic score of 53 and priced at $15. It's about a 15-hour game, and it's by Curve Digital, and it's a side-scrolling stunt game. If this is based off of a mobile phone, or it feels like a mobile phone, but it's similar to the ones that you would see with the monster trucks and items like that. I was playing this and I realized I played this before and I saw I had some progress. This did come out in August 2019 as well for Prime Gaming. So I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this. Again, like I hinted, it felt like a mobile game. And the whole action here is a pump system to keep momentum. So you don't really pedal your bike. You hold A, that gains speed. You let go of it to get height in the air and then hit A to lower. And you have trick buttons, and you usually get 4 tasks each level, and they're relatively short. My opinions still haven't changed on this game, so I would say not download. I saw it was on the Switch, which this may be a better audience for it versus PC. I just didn't feel like enough was going on to keep me interested. If you like them like Monster Truck, side-scrolling mobile games, you probably would like this, and it's free to try out. Next up, we have Effie. I apologize if I say that wrong. I know it's like a Swedish name. It came out in 2019 and had a Metacritic score of 70, and it's $20 normally on Steam with about a 6-hour gameplay length. This is a basic action-adventure game, and this game doesn't try to do anything new in the genre. It has platforming in this 3D world, but the story follows Garland, and he was a witch supposed to help him, ask him for help, and he denied it, and she turned him old, but you kind of find out the witch is like destroying the world, so you gotta stop her. So since you're older, the game makes it sound like you turned like super old, but I just feel like you're older with a gray beard. Your guy is incredibly strong. He can still like pick himself up, so it wasn't like I felt like you were hampered by that, so it's weird that you just getting criticized you were old. And like I said, there's nothing new. The difference is you use your shield to do a lot of stuff. So once you get your shield, that's what you hit with. You don't have a sword. And I found that odd, but it wasn't bad. It worked pretty well. Your block is like magic, so it makes a bubble. So you don't even really use the shield to block. It just generates all this. And what was also cool is you use it as a surfboard. So once you get out of the first level, you move around and you'll see that you can kind of surf and explore. And this gets me to the graphics here. The game looks amazing, actually. I kind of like this style. It does remind me of the Zelda games a little bit, and I think that's what they were going for here. And I enjoyed it a lot. There's a lot of little temples you could do on the side quest, and then you enter these bigger areas that are camps to fight the witch minions. So I highly actually recommend this game. It was fun, adventure game. There was nothing new added. They didn't break what works well. And I had no problems with the game. There's a lot of hidden stuff. Fans of this that would not like it would be if you're not into the Zelda-style games. Next up, we have Outcast Second Contact, which came out in 2017. About $35 and 20 hours of gameplay with a Metacritic score of 61. And this is a shooter RPG, and this is a remake. So here's a old discussion that happened on the original 1999 version, which you evidently had to have a really good computer to play. I was looking at some of the specs, and it was not a light game. And then to 2017, so it was a huge improvement in the graphics. I did like the look of this game. The shooter RPG, just think of Mass Effect. I feel like this was like the first run at that style, and it worked pretty well. The story here is you play as Slade, and you find out that the scientists were able to jump like parallel universes, and there's a vortex that's eating up Earth, so you go back to save it. So it's a crew of 4, and you are the only one that can be found while the other ones are looking for your other crew members. and they kind of worship you. There's this story going along that you are the savior. So it was interesting to see that. The gameplay does feel like it's from 1999. It feels stiff. The only game I could compare this to was Knights of the Old Republic. You had the weird locking system and all. I love Knights of the Old Republic, so I know that's my nostalgia, but the controls don't really hold up too well. There's a nice interactive world. This is 2 years before the whole GTA open world sandbox, and this game did that pretty well. You were free to roam around. There was areas with bad guys, so don't roam too far, so they kind of at least contained you there. But you could kind of roam around, do what you want. You had to find people. It was a very open story. They guided you away, but didn't really force you. So I could see why in 1999 this was good. But since this remake was like a graphics boost, it didn't seem like the gameplay was like changed too much from what I could tell. It didn't hold to me, and I would say it's not a download. Again, if you love the original game, this remake seems highly focused to you, and you will love this. It'll play just like you think it will, and it looks way better. Another reason you may want to download it, it's a $35 game, and it's free, so that's there. And if you like them shooter RPGs like Mass Effect, this probably grab you more. The reasons I didn't like it was, again, I felt like a 1999 game, and the story... Granted, the story's awesome. The just narration and that old clicking styles, I couldn't skip some text boxes. And there was a lot of walking around, finding people, which dragged on a lot for me, which a lot of games nowadays don't do that too much. So those were my complaints for this and why I would say not to download it. Next up, we have Tiny Troopers Joint Ops, which was actually a mobile game in 2014. You're looking at about $5 price with 7 hours of gameplay, 65 on Metacritic. And this is a top-down shooter. I always pull up Smash TV to think of it. And this game does feel like a mobile port, and it was one. This company took the mobile game and made it for PC. You can control with the keyboard or a controller, but I would recommend a keyboard because you can just like click an enemy and still move around, and it auto-fires for you. And while I was talking, I'm showing you the first level, which you're probably going to see end soon. So that shows you the levels are very, very short. They don't really expand too much. Some of them will have you destroy like 3 camps, so it makes it a little longer, but the levels are really small. And this is basically a military shooter game. There was no real story. And there's coins to upgrade, but I felt like they were limited. You would not get enough coins to constantly upgrade. And since it's a mobile game, I see where that comes in. And it was awkward controls at times. I was clicking around, like some reason I just didn't click how to throw grenades. So I found out you had to like hold the button, the mouse button, and then target, which it wasn't clear how it was working with the auto aim. So I ended up like killing my whole team. So it was interesting there. But here, there was nothing to grab me, and I would say not to download it. It is on mobile, which I think this suits it better. As a port to PC, I was looking for something more than just a mobile game. Next up is Autonauts, which came out in 2019. You're looking at 90 hours of gameplay here for this game, so it's going to be lengthy. Metacritic score of 80, and it's $20. And this is a strategy management game. So you land on a planet, and you're just harvesting materials and basically starting a whole autonomous civilization. So that's the focus. So you make bots, which you record, and you actually get introduction to programming here, which I did find kind of cool. It's the visual block-based programming like Scratch, but basically you would hit record, you do actions with your character while the bot watches you, and then you hit play. You can adjust like the area that they can do the task in. So say you're having them plant trees, you can say you can only plant trees here, and you say go forever usually is the loop you probably do most common at first, and the bot does it, and you have to recharge it, which you can automate that. So it's kind of cool. It did feel like a mobile game, weirdly enough, but it's not one. But there's a lot to do, and it got repetitive fast. The whole recording thing just was tedious. The graphics are simple, and I thought this was like more of a kid's game with a lot of it, but I don't know where to place this. I feel like this is a teen level game, and I had issues trying to find bots. So the one bot broke down on me, but it was like in a tree, so I had to like try to zoom in all the way as I could to click to repair it. And I'm not sure what to really make of this game. I have a hard time actually picking one, so this is actually probably neutral. But if I had to pick one, I would say there was not enough here to hold my interest, so I would say not. And the reason is the repetitiveness, and when playing this game, I saw like I need to invest a lot of time into this. So kind of me reviewing it was a little unfair because again, it was a 90-hour game and I could see where I needed to play it a lot longer to justify it. So that's why I was mixed in the road. If this game looks interesting to you, if you like a lot of them management games like Factorio, you will probably like this one. So definitely check it out if you're a fan of those. And I'll try to put some more time in it, and I'll give an update later on how I feel about it. But right now, I'll say not a download. So last month was actually pretty good at games, in my opinion. This month was a little lacking. We had a lot more ports and remakes. A lot of them felt like mobile games. Effie was pretty cool, so I did enjoy that one. And like I said, I'll give Autonauts and maybe Outcast a little more time to sink in. But Outcast, just them controls from 99 did kick in. But let me know in the comments below what you thought of this month. And thank you for checking out Prime Gaming. As PC gamers, free games is always welcome. So overall, they're free games. Just make sure you get them and you'll have some stuff to check out that you probably never played before. Anyways, that's enough of your time. Peace.